Hey guys, this is Jerry with Writing Comics, the art of writing indie comics, and also the creator of Evermatter. I am really stoked to say that. That's the first time I've been able to say that publicly, but I have something tangible now that I want to show you. It is the first page of Evermatter. I hope you can see it clearly. There it is, the first page of Evermatter. I'm actually thinking about having it framed because it is the first page of my very first comic. And hey, if you have that itch, if you have that desire to start creating comics, if you have a story that you want to tell, man, I encourage you because I am addicted. This is just like it's amazing to see something that you wrote come to a tangent. A tangent was a tangent. That's like some kind of cross between a tangerine and a management. I don't know, tangent. But if you have the desire to write a story, I certainly encourage you to look into, if you want get your story out there. I certainly encourage you to look into writing comic books because it's an amazing journey that I've been on, and this is my first book, but it won't be my last. I can guarantee you that. Um, Today I come across an article of Kevin Feige says that uh, to continue enjoying the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you are going to have to watch Disney Plus. And as a kid and as a comic book fan, I know that the cross-platforming of books and the numbering system and having to look into different, it's just hard to find a starting place. And I know that this is just going to convolute the whole MCU, and it wasn't good for comic books, and I don't think it's going to be good for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like what you see, then please hit the subscribe button, the like button, notification bell. It helps me to build an audience, and that's what we all strive to do here on YouTube. Also, if there are other creators that you like watching, please hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and the like button because it helps them out as well. So let's get straight into this article. Kevin Feige says Marvel fans will need to watch Disney Plus series to understand future MCU movies. See, I don't think this is a good idea, which is not really my place to say, I don't guess, because I don't have anything to do with Disney or Marvel. But let me explain my thoughts on why I think that this sounds a little bit off. Because as a kid, as a comic book lover, it it's hard for people to find a starting point. So you walk into a comic shop and they have hundreds of books, and you're looking through the hundreds of books, and it's hard to find that number one. That starting point, that launching off place. So the casual consumer is not going to go online and look and search for book number one. They're just going to find whatever's in the comic book if they just wander in because they've seen a Marvel movie and they know that it's based on a comic book and they want to see what more of that is about. And they walk into a comic book store. It's hard for them to find what it is they're looking for. And what they are looking for most often is the beginning. And the numbering system in comics is just not conducive to that because look at it this way. You have so many comics. Let's just take a franchise, for example. Let's take Batman. Say there's 3 launches of 3 storylines in the same year. You have number one, and number one, and then you have number two, and number two. And for the average consumer, it's hard for them to keep track of, well, does this number 2 go with this number 1? Does this number 1 go with this number 2? Batman. I say as people get deeper into the hobby that they start to understand how the numbering system works, and even then, it's still hard to find the book that you're looking for. So I want to show you how this played out in this book. It's an old Avengers book, and I've used these. We had a Halloween party, so I've used these napkins to mark my spot so I can show you these things. So if you look right here on the It says, right here, this kind of look right there. It says, since his old godly remnant was shredded by the Blood Brothers in issue 252. So if you picked up this book in a comic book store and you got there and you want to know more about what happened with Hercules, then you'd have to go back to uh, book number 252. All right, let's move on a couple pages. I'm going to take that napkin out of the book. Let's move on a couple pages. That's one reference to a past comic. All right, we see where Wasp was headed the chair. Try to get it in the camera here. You see where Wasp was headed the chairwoman of the Avengers. And if you want to see how that played out, you got to go to book 254. So that's another book that if you want to see, the all of the story arc, you'll have to go to check that out. This is all in one comment. That's number 2. All right, so see right here, it says so much has gone down in the past 24 hours. See if I can hold this thing a little different. So much has gone down in the past 24 hours, blah, 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 blah. I'm just glad was able to help bring him back to his senses. And if you want to know more about that, you got to go to book 254, which it mentions book 254 twice, so we're trying to sell that book. But that's 3 references to several different comics, and this is where the convolution comes in and where the trouble comes in with comic books. If you see here, it says, they're talking about the story, they're talking about Terminus. It says it has see Fantastic Four. I can't see it. See Fantastic Four 278 through 279. So in this one book, we got 4 references to 3 different books. But now I think that they're trying to do that in the movie industry because at first, a basic story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you don't have those 3 things, it's going to turn it off comic book reader. It's going to turn off the moviegoer. And I think that a lot of what happened with Star Wars, I saw some videos by that Star Wars girl and Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, and those guys are saying that, when you go to Galaxy's Edge, which I hadn't had the chance to be, I might go there. But if you go to Galaxy's Edge, a lot of the characters and a lot of the story is based off of the books and not the movies. So if you're not a hardcore fan that's following the movies, the books, the comics, and everything else that comes out with that, then you're not going to understand everything and you're not going to fully enjoy what's going on at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. If I go to a movie, I want to see the beginning. I want to see it from the beginning to the end. I don't want to have to cross-reference a comic. I don't want to have to cross-reference another book. I don't want to have to cross-reference another show. If there's a character in there that I don't understand, it's going to turn me off of the movie. But at the same time, this may not be that you have to watch those series. It may just be a marketing ploy. Kevin Feige may have said, "Hey guys, we got these new MCU movies coming out. We also Disney Plus is coming up, so it could just be that they're trying to push Disney Plus to market because it's going to be coming out, and they're going to have some series that goes along with the MCU universe. I hope that you don't have to watch those shows to understand what's going on in the new MCU movies." It says Disney Plus, the events of those shows will tie more directly to the theatrical endeavor. In the past, we know that the movies would have the end credit, there'd be some reference to past movies, but it would still be more or less one movie. So what does it mean to more directly tie into the movies? I guess that's for us to find out. The events of those shows will tie more directly to the theatrical endeavors, requiring fans to watch those series to fully appreciate theatrical outings. It's unclear, however, if it will be because the events of these series will impact the films or if it's the exploration of these characters will provide more context for the films in which they appear. See, I don't like the word require because I don't want to be required to watch another film. I don't want to be required to watch another movie to enjoy the movie that I'm watching currently. I just don't think that it's good wording. I don't think that it's a good way to approach business. I think that you should give the consumer and exciting experience, because that's exactly what a superhero movie is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be a breathtaking, just beautiful world, I think. And I don't think that I should have to, because I know that it's one thing to have a multi-million dollar movie and then have a several million dollar production on a TV show. The effects aren't going to be the same. I just think that I don't like the word require, them using the word require. It just seems like it's just too much for me to have to take in, too much for me to have to keep up with. According to Bloomberg, if you want to understand everything in the future Marvel movies, Feige says you'll probably need a Disney Plus subscription, because events from the new shows will factor into forthcoming films such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. The Scarlet Witch will be a key character in the movie, and Feige points out that the Loki series will tie in too. I'm not sure we've actually acknowledged that before, Feige shared, but it does. So it looks to me like you're going to have the way that Feige is saying, you're going to have a Disney Plus subscription to appreciate the new movies, and I just don't like where that's going. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. That's just my take on it. Just sitting down to shoot this video. I'm going to do very little editing, because one thing I found out about YouTube is nobody likes to edit. So, hey, I hope your imagination runs wild and your dreams come true.